Okay, so the day has come. We have finally seen our first interest rate cut on the federal level announced today. And it was way more aggressive than what we were expecting. We saw a 50 basis point rate cut from the Federal Reserve. A lot of folks were expecting a 25 basis point, but we saw a full 50 basis point. So, what this means for you, this is our first rate cut since we saw cuts back in 2020 and eventually saw increases starting mid 2022. So this is a huge shift from the Federal Reserve and the economy as a whole. And so what we're seeing right now is that is a massive gap of what rates were like in May when we saw an 8% mortgage rate environment to where we're going to see them now. We're already seeing them between a high 5% to 6% range, and we're going to continue seeing them decrease as the Fed is expecting to give us an additional 50-point cut by the end of the year. And so really for those buyers out in the marketplace right now, that is going to give them a tremendous amount of purchasing power. Those that got priced out before and kind of put their search on pause, you are now going to be able to afford that home again that you were looking at and have more purchasing power to be able to compete for it as well. On the same note, it's going to create a massive amount of unlock of inventory because we have been in an environment, in high interest rate environment since our cuts. Sellers have locked in extremely low rates. Most sellers across the country are somewhere in a mid 4% range as far as their current mortgage rate. And so that mid fours to now mid fives is not such a big delta for them to say, I'm going to sell my house now and make that move and go purchase something else and downsize or upsize, whatever they're looking to do. So we're going to see a wave of inventory coming to the market because of that. And so the early adopters, the early buyers in the marketplace that truly take advantage of getting in front of this, get out there early, start shopping, make those offers, lock in a great rate, you're going to take advantage of being the first one out there to negotiate without a lot of competition. But as this news unrolls, we're going to see more and more buyers. We're already seeing it on our team here. We've seen a huge uptick in activity, buyers reaching out to us, more showings starting to happen on our listings. As those buyers come in the marketplace, you are now going to have to compete like we saw in years past, where we saw really low interest rates all over the news. We saw people overbidding for homes. We saw multiple counters, 10, 15 plus offers coming in on a property. Before we get to that environment, the early ones will have a way to get in there, get a great deal, lock in a great rate, and get the home that you love at the end of the day. And so as a seller, on the same note, you're going to have to hire a great negotiator and a great team to properly position your home with a great marketing plan to be able to maximize that exposure, as well as when those offers come over, how do we properly negotiate those offers to increase the final sales price during negotiations to maximize your equity and your final proceeds. And so if you have any questions on really what this means for you as a buyer or as a seller in this marketplace, definitely reach out to us here. We would love to connect with you and just see how we can add some value, help you with your search and your plans. But overall, this is by far the biggest news that you're going to see everywhere is the Federal Reserve making this 50 basis point rate cut. It's a huge shift in policy, and it's a huge shift as we go into the rest of the year and into 2025. And so let me know what we can help with, and we're here to help with anything you need, and all the best, okay?